So let's officially start this webinar. So welcome to today's webinar, What's New in 3D Survey 3.1. So super powerful software is in front of you with super powerful improvements. Today, in about 1 hour, we would like to show what we managed to put in this nice photogrammetry and much more than that software. Today with us are Matthias Zupan, our quality assessment manager, Vit Peterman, CTO, and Marco Mesrich as a product manager. And yes, we can't wait to start with all this interesting stuff. But before we go with new feature which are in the software, we would first like to start a quick survey just to get some feedback from the audience side. So Matthias, feel free to start with first question to get some feeling.
Yeah, so let me set the first one, which is a real classic. Shouldn't be too hard. Are you already a 3D survey user, or are you a new face? Maybe you are right now testing the software and thinking of buying it, and you need this webinar to convince you 100%. These are your 3 options.
Okay, so let's wait a couple of seconds.
Yeah, the votes are coming in quite fast. Almost 80% of you already voted. It's time to wake up for the rest of the 20%. Okay, guys and girls, everybody else, put in those questions, answers.
Okay,
all right. So we have still some late arrivals. So if you just joined us, don't hesitate. We jumped into the poll. So just choose your option and let's go. Okay, I think I can close this one, right?
Okay, very good. Can you also share the results with us?
Sure. So we have 72% of our existing users here, 30% of non-users, and 16% of non-users that are warming up to become 3D survey users.
Very good, very good. Great to see all our already existing customers that attend those webinars. So this is one of the most important for them probably. Okay, Mattia, thank you. Let's go with the second question.
Yeah, let's continue with that. So this one's for you who chose the first option. And the question is, if you're already a 3D survey user, do you have a active support and upgrades for the latest version? So that means you are eligible for this upgrade. Upgrades and support come 1 year for free after you've purchased a perpetual license, or come automatically if you're on subscription-based model.
Okay, very good. We can also maybe mention that the version is already available. So when you open 3D Survey, you should get a notification. The new version is ready for you, 3.1. So you just seamlessly download it and you have already all these features which are going to be presented in the software right now.
Okay, I think I can close this one. Okay. And share it with you. So most of you are on track with the updates, more than 80% of you. Some of you not. I hope we convince you with this webinar that these updates are worth it.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Yeah, now I think it's enough questions for now. We have some more questions for you later on, but I think we should go right into the webinar, right into the content.
Very good. Thank you, Matthias. So we prepared first a short PowerPoint, what we would like to present you, then we go live with combination of tutorial, pre-recorded, and some live stuff showing directly in the 3D Survey software. First, I would like to show you a complete list what you're going to see today. And point number one of general 3D survey improvement is definitely plane lock with perpendicular lines. So this is a definitely top-notch CAD function, which is available with this latest version. So I would say if you are using CAD till now, the new experience will be much better. You will be able to design lines and points, the ones you were not been able to design it before, and you will see all this in my presentation.
Yes,
After I go to the general view. Yes, exactly. So then the next thing we are going to present you is CAD on mesh projection feature. Mattia will show you this one, so how we actually project CAD data, which are usually on zero elevation, to our mesh structure, mesh model. Then next thing we would like to share with you, we will present you where you can find it. We implemented the contour line simplification, so smoother contour lines, much smaller files, less vertices, easier to share it in AutoCAD or something like that. Then number 4, improvement of general 3D survey improvement, custom height map limits. So finally, you're now able to set the height map scale to specific range. Mattia will show this, how it looks like, super useful feature also for visualization and all other. I will quickly show you then how we did with decimal spaces in CAD environment. So now by default we set the 3D survey to 3 decimal spaces. Before it was 2, but some of customers come back to us and say, hey, we would like to see millimeters and so on. Now you can preset this in general options. I will quickly show you where it is. And we add to all measurements like 2D measurements, 3D measurements, slope, angle, and everything like that. You now have also option azimuth measurement. So this is the angle from north to your direction line. Mattia will show you. This is usually super interesting for telco companies. They need to measure where the antennas are pointing, or if you're doing solar plan installation on your roof, so that you can see how much sun you can get on your solar power system. Okay, this was most from the general improvements. We already looking on scan module improvements. So the first one, very strong one, spherical image support in the same software. So if you have a SLAM device, you can import the E57 file format, so point cloud with spherical images in 3D survey, and you can do all the vectorization in the CAD environment. So Mattia will show super in detail with this one to present your top-notch feature. So if you have already SLAM device, you're ready to use it. So very good. Then another super interesting, which we wait quite a lot for this one. So automatic line detection on X-ray views. So the ones you create an X-ray in a scan module, now you can, of course, you can vectorize it manually, but now there is also automatic help, and all these green lines were detected automatically based on integrated algorithm. Vid will spend some time on this and show you how to do it and what can you achieve it. Then the third one, based on direct feedback, immediately as we release the scan model with all interesting features inside, we get a feedback from customers, from partners, please add this, and that. And we listen to this and we add this. So a lot of enhancements, speed up improvements, additional option to duplicate the layouts and everything like that. Mattia again will spend few minutes on this one and show you, and then at the end I will mention what we did with the RTK videogrammetry model. So we have a RTK 3D survey side scan app update. There were some minor bugs and we improve it, and we did a quite intense things also for new devices, which are officially also supported now with 3D survey side scan. Okay, that's it from the PowerPoint. So if we are ready now, if there are some questions, feel free to write them in a question box. Otherwise, I start with our first feature presentation, plane lock and perpendicular lines. Mattia or Vit, would you like to add something?
I'm all good. I think you can go ahead and start the first feature presentation.
Okay, very good.
Let's see the video.
Very good. First, I will just roll the video to give you a better and smoother experience about this feature presentation. Then we will go live in the software also. Okay, so let's start the plane lock and perpendicular lines and see you in 2 minutes or something like that.
Hello and welcome to another 3Dsurvey tutorial. This is a quick tutorial about the plane lock and perpendicular lines. Here we have our nice 3D model and I would like to do the vectorization of the building footprint. And I would like to do that with the help of plane lock. So the first thing I need to do, I click here on Define Plane. Then I place a point that will lock my Z-axis. I'm happy with my plane and I confirm it. And now the yellow plane turns into green and the plane lock is active. So everything I'm drawing now will snap on this plane. Second step, I need to decide where to draw my first line. I'll go to the back side of this building and choose a draw line tool. It's important to start accurately. So I will draw my first vertex on this corner. I draw my line further down and place my second vertex. And now I want to lock all my future lines to be perpendicular to this one. I hit Object UCS or press F8 button. This way I started the perpendicularity and you can see everywhere I'm going, my lines are perfectly perpendicular. And this is super useful to extract building corners with ease. You can see there's some mess in this corner and it would be difficult to place the exact corner height. But the help of this tool is ensuring me I'm on the right height. Again, this next corner is a bit problematic since it ends with this vegetation. With my cursor I can snap further up, but the point will be placed on the plane. I continue with this corner. And all this time I don't even have to worry about these corners being perpendicular. And finally we are on our last vertex. To hit it perfectly, I go over it to activate the leading lines. They limit the length of my previous segment to the exact length I need. So I finish perfectly on the vertex I started. Now that was really easy. So there you have it. Perfect building footprint with the help of plane lock and perpendicular lines. Thanks for watching.
Okay, very good. So
Interesting. So we will also have a webinar on this topic, right?
we will also
With
have a
everything
webinar, yes, in a month or something like that.
In depth.
In depth, yeah, this was super quickly. Let's show you also this in a real case, how this looks like. So here I have the same model. Hopefully you can see my 3D survey now. And not sure if at the beginning it was presented, how it goes. So first you need to click here, define plane.
Yeah,
and now
you can define plane with 1 point or more. So if you want horizontal plane, you just define it with 1 point, right?
Exactly. If this is kind of a plane which best fit to the terrain of the building, you can select 3 of them and then confirm plane. And now we have this green plane, which is active locked plane here. And everything what we draw on it, it's actually snapping also to this plane. So even if I go and snap here up, I will also always snap on my building. So I will select now my second point accurately, and now take care about this, how to say, network, or what is it? So the
background grid, right?
The background grid, exactly. After I click the F8 button or Object UCS, it will rotate to the perpendicular to my first line, okay? And now I can easily also try to show the end of the corner here, upper
Or
side,
the
because
facade.
yes, fully true. And I can be super fast with connecting like that. If I need to eliminate the perpendicular mode option, I just press the Alt button, okay? What's great with this Alt, like alternative button, I can draw any direction I would like, and after I release it, I'm again back in the first perpendicularity mode. And then addition feature, which is here inside hidden, if you activate the last snapper, go over it, you get the suggestions where to finish your last line, that this will perfectly end at the end of the end vertex, okay? And with this kind of user interface, you can actually manage to connect everything. If you have a building with 4 corners and just 3 are visible because the fourth one was behind the vegetation or was not mapped perfectly, and you know that the building is perpendicular, you can design it, okay? So this is super useful. We saw it, how to generate the definition plane, how to use the perpendicular lines. We use the Alt for alternative, like going out from perpendicularly until we hold the Alt button. And then is here, if I click reset, another quick function. If you go with point, with a Q, you create a quick plane. And I would like to show you where this is super important. I would like to open another example. Some of you really know this example probably, but if you see, let me focus on this one. If you see here, the curb is not perfectly designed with the mesh, because I would need to fly on 40 meters or something like that to get a perfect curb out of it. Here I was flying on 80 meters, just in 5 minutes map everything. And you can use this function, so with the quick plane option, to actually get the right height also on the right position of the curb. And how it goes, I will just take a point first, I will move over the model. If I press a Q, let's zoom out a bit, I quickly get a horizontal plane where I am. Let me rotate you like so. So I'm on the roof, you see how I get it. And now how to use this if you're extracting the curb. You move away from the curb, quick Q button like quick plane, and then from the line you go to the curb position and you get the perfect position of curb. And in this way you can really get accurate position with the accurate height. The same it goes with the line. So let's start here where I'm not close to the curb and I know the height is 100% sure. Freeze the plane, move to the right position and start drawing. Go to second point, freeze the height, move it to the position. Let's add also point here, freeze the height. Okay, so I need to click it to activate it, freeze the height, move it to position. Freeze the height, move it to position. And in this way, you are able now to also perfectly extract so road curves or small details which were not perfectly generated in point cloud or mesh. Okay, cool. This was my 10 minutes for this feature. Would anyone like to add something? If there are some questions, feel free to write them in question box that we can answer them. Don't forget it.
I'd just like to add, these features will also be explained in tutorials, and these showcases will be shown again in YouTube, so you can watch it anytime you want.
And feel free to test it out by yourself. Okay, next feature we are going to present you is CAD on mesh projections. So Mattia, feel free to take it over.
Okay, thank you. Just a second. All right, now this one will be simple. Again, we'll just see the video first. Okay, should start playing now. Here we go. Enjoy.
So here I've got a nice terrain elevation model. It has an orthophoto draped on it to make it look better. And now I want to work on it with some cadastral data that was downloaded from our national provider. I import it just like any other CAD file. But now nothing happens. The list of layers is there, but I can't see any lines. That's because all my CAD elements landed beneath my surface. This happens when you import 2D data into 3D environment. All my lines and points have their elevation fixed on 0. One way to sort this problem is to switch to top-down view and ortho mode. Now I at least see that the data fits horizontally, but this view doesn't allow me to inspect my model very well. So I disable the top-down view and the ortho mode. I go to Mesh tab, right-click the mesh I want all my CAD elements to fit to, and select the Project CAD to Mesh button. A window with list of CAD layers opens up. Here I select the layers I want to project to my mesh. And just like that, with the click of a button, all my CAD elements are projected on the right elevation.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we back?
Okay, we are back. So yeah, this is quite the simple feature, but very powerful one. We got a lot of suggestions from our users and partners to include this feature because this problem is, quite often people doing on a field and in the office encounter this sort of problem where you get the 2D data and you want to work with them in the 3D environment.
Okay, Mattia,
yeah.
just maybe a second because we get a direct question. Does the CAD file take the elevations? Yes. So you import 2D CAD data with elevation 0 or anything what it is, and we actually stick this CAD data to the mesh surface, and at the end they have these elevations also.
Yeah, so if we want to export them, they will be at the end in 3D. So yeah, this is a yes. And yeah, another option is you could also snap those points to, let's say, a roof. This is another scenario, and you just select snap on highest in that case, because the roof is usually the highest point. And this is it for this feature. I hope you like it. There is also a tutorial coming for this one with more scenarios and additional in-depth explanation.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mattia. If there are questions regarding this feature, write it in question box. We can also answer at the end. Now, I think Vid is on with contour line simplification. So Vid, feel free to take over presenter and yes, share your screen with us.
Okay, just a minute, making myself the presenter and selecting show my screen. And
okay,
I think now you can already see my screen.
Very good.
Okay, so in short, when creating contour lines from digital terrain model, now we have an option to generate simplified contour lines. So you start generating contour lines just like you did before by pressing here calculate contour lines. There will be here a new checkbox, which is by default always enabled. So, and just like that, if we press continue, so the contour lines which are now generated, they are slightly more curved than they used to be before. So if you would prefer to have the old contour lines, you can still get them by disabling this checkbox here. So what is the difference between these contour lines and the old ones? If we check here from far, it might not look very obvious. But if we take the old ones and if we zoom in, for example, here, we see that they are quite edgy. So on the new simplified contours, if we zoom to the same location, you will see that these are more curvy. They are still made out of straight line segments, but at least they now better follow the nice contour, the nice curvy shape. So finally, if we switch back to the old ones, there is also an option to simply right-click on the contour lines and select option Simplify. When we do that, a second set of contours will be created, and here we can also now see what the difference between the two sets of the contours is. So the new ones, they are slightly more curved, and on average they will have 2 or 3 times less vertices. So that means when you put those contour lines in AutoCAD, AutoCAD should then run smoother. Also, it will be a lot better for viewing in cloud, stuff like that, because the file sizes will be 2 to 3 times smaller with the contour simplification enabled. So that's it. Not much to say about it. I think it's a pretty self-explanatory feature.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Vit, for this one. I think you covered more than we needed to know, so super powerful. Next feature, custom height map limits from Mattia. Feel free, Mattia, to start with this one. And if there are some questions, feel free to write them. We will answer them at the end.
Thank you again, Marco. Well, again, this time, let's warm up with the video. And here we go.
Hi, and welcome to another 3Dsurvey tutorial. Today we'll look into a new feature available in the version 3.1. So I've got this gravel pit mapped out here, and I'd like to see the height map. Because the highest and lowest points are far off my average height, all my model is green. Turning on the shading helps a bit. But now we've got something even better. Right-click on the height map scale now reveals new options. When I click the Set Range button, I can set the extent of my height map. Just input the max and min value and your color scheme will shrink appropriately. Now this is more like it. Here I can clearly see the features I'm interested in. You can notice the roof going from yellow to red, and the points that are higher than 540 retain their natural color. There's another way I could use this feature. If I, for example, want to scrape all the material above a certain elevation, I'll input that as a new minimum, and now I see everything that needs to go. To reset the height map, simply right-click on the scale again and select Reset Range.
Okay, I hope you liked this video. Now I will show you additional scenario on the live screen. So I hope you see the my screen now. Marco, is it on?
Yes, we can see it. All good. Feel free to start.
Great. So in this scenario, you probably know this one also. If we turn on the height map, let's make it this rainbow color scheme. You can see, yeah, this tree here is really tall, but the ground is all purple. Now, what if we are interested in the runoff of this parking lot? So where does the water flow? Where does the water go? We can visualize this much better if we simply put in custom height map limits. So I will put in, let me show you how I will inspect this first. So I'm turning on the point snapping, which will enable me to see the height of the parking lot. And now I will input this number in here. So 299.7 for max and 299.5 for low. And now all my height map got shrinked to the parking lot. And this way now I can see where the highest points are and the lowest points. So we can see the runoff will go from the parking lot to the street here, which is good. And on the other side, there's pretty interesting too. We can see this blue area here, so the lowest values. And is this good or is this problematic? If we zoom in and turn off the height map, we can see there's actually a gutter here. So this is actually what we want, because the water will flow directly from highest points to the gutter and out of the property.
Okay, so they did it correctly, huh?
They did it good, yeah. You can inspect the parking lot guys if they did a good job.
Yeah, actually, we had some that kind of request in the past in construction site where they need to monitor super accurately if there is the prepared earth fully horizontal or not, and this is another way you can visualize this one. So yeah, super fascinating. Yeah.
Also here you can see there's a gutter in purple. Yeah, also
very
correct.
Good. Yeah. Okay, so we can see we are also super accurate with this photogrammetry data. So we are talking about millimeters here, so crazy. Mattia, did you already mention how does it work for the laser scanner? So intensity and that kind of stuff?
No, yeah, of course. We can also work on the laser scanner data. If I show you on this one, for example, so this is the indoor scan. Hard to do something like this with photogrammetry, but that's what laser scanners are for. You can also switch here on the height map to intensity. And now we have the, the height map is showing us intensity. And perhaps we would like to limit it to a certain value. For example, just maybe the upper part of it. So with intensity, you get the range from 0% to 100%. So it's more binaural, but any case, it also works. So we only got the more intensive rebounds now shown on the height map.
Okay, very good.
Also possibility.
Very good, Mattia. Thank you for this presentation. Super powerful. Sure. If there are questions, feel free to set it. We'll answer them at the end of the webinar. And we are already in feature number 5, adjustable decimals. This one is on me to present you. So just a second, I need to find myself to make a presenter. Okay, show my screen.
Yes, we see it.
Okay, you can see it. Very good. Again, so this one is adjustable decimals. So in the past, 3Dsurvey shows you just the 2 decimals. So let's say in most cases centimeter. And more customers ask us, hey, is it possible to set up millimeters or anything like that? That we can see maybe if we need a millimeter accuracy to extract something from the roof or I don't know, from somewhere. And this is now also possible. Now by default, when you update the software, you will get 3 decimal spaces for all the measurements, so like 2D distance, 3D distance, slopes, anything like that. I would just like to show you where you can change this. So if you go under the options, application settings, you have number of decimal places for CAD data here. And if you set it to 3, confirm it, and you need to turn off the software and start the software again. So this will take effect after you restart the software. Actually, it's not going to see the difference immediately. So if I go now and change it to 2, confirm it, we still see 3 here. If I turn off and turn on back, I will see 2. And this is important also then later on for any, I don't know, like let's say also for all the element properties information. So here, where you will have length and areas or anything like that, you will see the same number of decimals here than in 3D window. Okay, cool. This was a super short one. Adjustable
Maybe,
decimals.
Marco, you can just tell us how many decimals can we set? What's the maximum?
I think it's up to 5. It's
Yeah,
up to 5. So let's go up here. Yes. So we take some kind of logical number, not to over push with everything, and that's it.
And if you need even higher accuracy, please let us know what you're doing, because that must be really interesting field.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you, Mattia. And you are on already with Azimuth measurements. So,
Wait.
Wit has a question.
okay.
I think Mattia will be presenting the Azimuth measurements, right?
Yes, Mattia is. Sorry,
Okay.
I save it. Okay, it was automatic. I'm on autopilot. So yeah, Mattia,
no worries.
take it over for Azimuth measurements.
Yeah. Okay. So for this one, there's no video. This one is really simple, and we'll start here at these headquarters of ours again. And for example, last year the guys wanted to measure this azimuth of this roof and the slope for installation of solar power panels here, and stuff like this is very common. So it's easy now to do that also in 3Dsurvey in the measurements tab. So for example, if you want to calculate the efficiency of your solar power plant, you can do it now in 3Dsurvey. Just simply select here the azimuth, and let's add slope also. And we will increase the text size a bit to see it better. Now it's really simple. Just drag as any other measurement, and here you have it. The azimuth here is 300. So maybe you'll guess how much it is on this side of roof. Exactly, it's 214. I know you all had this number in mind. And this one, so 125. Is this roof very perpendicular? Yeah, so. Okay, so solar power plants are one scenario where you might need this. The other one may be telecom antennas. So that's where people need to know, again, the angle and the azimuth of these, how do you call them, cells. So you can measure this in few different ways. Maybe the most straightforward one is you go to the top of the cell and go down. But now you may get a reverse value of the azimuth because it's pointing inward. There's a nice hack you can do here to overcome this. So I will make a circle here. And now what we do is we view, let's say the second cell here, and we will just measure in which direction this is pointing. It's pointing toward me now, and I will start my line here and snap it on the circle. So now I got the measurement, going in the direction that this is facing. So this is now 79 degrees from north. And the third scenario we had in mind was geology. So when you get this nice outcrop, you want to know in which direction the strata is actually falling down. So you want to measure strike and dip, and you can do that with the help of plane lock also. So you want to define the plane of this fold. This is their strike and dip in the 3D space. You simply confirm this, and now you do a measurement, and you find the angle where the dip is highest. So here, and you got the strike and dip 221 through 13.7 degrees.
Okay.
Very useful if you're a geologist.
Mattia, I
So
think
these
they
are the
figure
three scenarios.
all out that you are geologists. So
yeah, you can't hide this once you're a geologist. It always stays
okay.
with you.
Interesting one. I also learned something during this session. Very good. Super interesting.
Good.
Anything else you would like to add to azimuth measurements?
As Marco mentioned, you can also measure it in more or less the decimal spaces now. But yeah, that's it. Maybe tell us what your scenario is for measuring the azimuth.
Okay, very good, very good. I take over the screen. Let me share also my screen just to wrap up what you already saw.
Okay.
Waiting for the scene. Okay, so you can see here the complete guidelines for today's webinar. We are on, I would say, 70%. We closed the session 1, general 3D survey improvements. So you saw the plane lock and perpendicular ones. You see the CAD on mesh projection. You see control line simplification, custom height map limits, adjustable decimal, and we just finished with azimuth measurement. And these are all general 3D survey improvements which are coming with the 3.1 version. And now we are moving to our scan module improvement, where we have 3 strong ones. So the first is spherical image support. It's a top-notch feature in case you have a SLAM device or something like that. Or if you are thinking to buy a SLAM device, Mattia will show you what you can do everything with this. I can just say that already some of 3D survey customers, we know they have it and they're already using because they were in a beta testing program and they're super satisfied. So Mattia, feel free, take over. Start with first scan model, feature presentation, spherical image support.
Yes. Again, we have a video for this one. So spherical images now available in 3Dsurvey. What you can do with them, here we go.
Hello and welcome to another 3D survey tutorial. Today we'll see how to view and work with the spherical images in 3D survey. Just a quick disclaimer before we go on, this feature is available to users with active scan module subscription. So when starting 3D survey, instead of loading images in the startup page, we go to point cloud and select load. Search for your E57 file you got from your StoneX Pharaoh, Navis or other device. In the bottom of this window, you'll see the external images option. Make sure that's checked on. Wait for the point cloud to load. Now you see that beside point cloud we have also loaded the external images. Here's the list. When we zoom in on the point cloud, we can see these white dots or spheres. Turn off the point cloud. When I hover over them, I see their names. Now let's see that point cloud up close. We can see it gets rather sparse. Details are much clearer on the image. I enter this image by double-clicking the sphere. In it, I can rotate, zoom, and also switch the sphere. Let's go into this street. One more time, I double-click, and here I am. I can also zoom in and out. And the best part, the complete CAD engine also works in the sphere view. I can draw lines, place points, perform measurements and similar stuff. The way it works, it's by snapping on point cloud behind it. To see where I'm snapping, I can adjust the transparency of the image. I do that by holding down Shift key and using the mouse wheel. To exit the sphere, simply press Escape or Ctrl W.
Okay, I hope you liked this one.
Very good. I like it.
Okay, so I can show you very quickly on a live project. You've seen this one just a few minutes ago. There's not much to add. When you import your E57 file, you get the external images, spherical images with it. Simple double click, and you're inside the image where you can do, you know, everything: rotation, zoom in, zoom out, and as you've seen, also vectorization through CAD engine. So Marco, did we forget anything about this?
I would just like to mention here, so as far we know, we tested data from Faro Orbis, from StoneX SLAM devices, from Navis, and we can confirm it works immediately with them. So you just need to export from those devices point cloud in E57 file format, including spherical images. What we know is that CSC is also preparing this export option. Not sure when it's going to be ready, but I think sooner or later this will be ready. So we will also support a CHC device. And what we are working on also for like a BLK2Go, which one is not able to export it in A57 file format, we will add option in the next patch version probably also that you will able to import point cloud and external images and locate them with a CSV file or something like that. So we will adding device by device in the future, but most of the state-of-the-art devices, they are already covered. But yes, let's see how many of you already have a SLAM device. I think we are here in from the technology almost, what is super nice. So you are ready with the software, you maybe just need the hardware more, and that's it.
Okay, should we move on? Not to be too
Let's
late.
go. Let's go. I like to talk, I know. So automatic line detection on X-ray. Vit, it's your time.
Thank you, Marco. Turning on screen sharing. And I think by now you can see my 3Dsurvey window here. So with the 3.1 update, we added the capability to automatically detect lines on X-ray views. So here I have a few X-ray views of our office building. So the automatic line detection, it works best if lines are clearly defined. So here we have the whole top view. This one has too many lines, but here I have created a nice section. And now I will just temporarily disable these views. Now, if we have clearly defined straight lines, 3Dsurvey can now automatically extract them. You do that by right-clicking on the layout and selecting the Detect Line option. You can select which CAD layer to put the lines on, and 3Dsurvey automatically calculates the best threshold so that about 70% of whitest pixels are used for line detection. We'll press Detect now, and we already have these lines extracted. If we then go into our CAD view, those lines are also available here. They can also be edited and moved around, so I can take this vertex and move it, but this was already possible also before. So for now, we have support for straight lines. So here I have another example, a bit bigger one. So this view is a lot bigger. On this one, the detection takes, instead of a few seconds, up to maybe 2, 3, 4 minutes, but we get very detailed view. And in the future, there will be also additional updates coming. So as I said, for now, we detect straight lines like this. Curves are not yet supported, but they might be in the future. And those lines can then be exported by going data, save CAD as, and you can export them into, for example, DXF or a shapefile or something similar. So that's a quick presentation. If you do want to check this functionality out, see the tutorial on our website. I think it's about 5 or 6 minutes long. It explains some more important features about this automatic line detection calculation. And also 1 month from now, we will be having a whole webinar dedicated to automatic line detection and automatic floor plan generation.
Very good. And if you have time, feel free to visit us in London, exhibition GeoBusiness. We have a live presentation also about the automatic line detection for floor plan generation. Thank you, Vit. Very interesting, very super. Finally, someone is helping you extracting all the lines. So even if you need to do some manual work in addition, you are not alone. Very good. Thank you, Vit. If there are questions, I think the questions are popping up in question box. We will need to spend some time at the end. And we are already ready with our next scan module, feature presentation, X-ray view enhancement. So a lot of things have been improved with the X-ray views. Vit partially already saw some additional snappers and so on. But Mattia will run the video, I think, and go a bit more in the deep details. Mattia, are you ready?
Yeah, we are ready, but for this one, there's no video, unfortunately, so we'll just go live. Don't worry. Let me share my screen. Yes, are we here already? Wrong set. Yeah. Can you see the X-ray views now?
We can see.
Okay.
Sorry, we can see the Navis example, so the spherical.
Okay, let me just change it to this one. Is this now the correct one?
No, it's the right one. No, it's the correct one.
Okay, great. So the X-ray views have been improved on many levels. So the first one is it runs smoother, it runs faster. There's not much to show there, but the other part that's improved the most is the usability. So I've calculated this X-ray views now, and I see that this one is overexposed. And before you had to do it all again, but now you can just recalculate this one, for example. If you right click on a view and press recalculate, you can simply input different parameters here. For example, let's give it a higher color transparency and click generate again. I could also change the resolution of it. So if I get, not enough details, see now when I raise the transparency, this looks much better. Okay. And if I wanted to have thinner lines, I would have to improve the resolution. But what is also interesting is we also added some of the nice features from the CAD engine. So that is, if I start drawing, I now have additional options to snap to my lines. They are here. So we have endpoint snapper. If I go from here to here, I have to enable it, and it now snaps. And I also have midpoint and nearest, which is very useful. But maybe what is more useful even for situations like this one is the feature that is carried over from our CAD that was introduced at the beginning is the perpendicular lines. I can simply lock my axis by pressing F8 or this button here. So now, as in AutoCAD, I only have options to go up, down, left, or right. So for this case, when I wanted to go to the ground level here, to the floor, it's impossible, but now I can do it like this. And now I will continue here. I don't need the perpendicularity anymore. F8, I'm free. Now I need it, F8, and so I can continue drawing this. Okay, This is the perpendicularity. And something else is nice. If we have, for example, if we created a lot of these layouts, sections and whatnot, it's maybe hard to know which is which. So how do we recognize them? Let's focus on these three. So where did we create each specific one? Now the option is to just simply right click and go to properties, and it will show you this one was created here on the ground level. Okay, how about this one? Properties, this one is the level 1, of course. And then if I click properties here, I also get all the technical details that I can input in the recalculate dialog and change the settings. So you have much more controls now to work with these X-ray views and to be a bit more flexible, you know, not to do everything over again if you didn't do it right the first time. Another nice feature is, for example, if I want to recalculate this ground level floor, and maybe just to show you how I got the level 1 and level 2, I didn't go all over again. I just took the ground level, and let's say I maybe limited it here on the X and on the X. So maybe this one a bit more and this one a bit less, so I don't get too big of an image. And the main thing, now I did the ground floor, I want to do the upper floor, so I will do this one, and I can simply input the number that represents my plane height if I have a specific number that I need to be on. So yeah, let's say 338.0. And if I click create new, I will get a copy of my X-ray view, which is now here, and I can rename it with double click. Okay, this is the X-ray views enhancements. I hope you like it, and if you have a question, or maybe Marco, if I forgot something on this part.
I think you covered nicely everything, so also much faster as I saw it, so you immediately got the result. No need to wait during the webinar. This is also nice. I think that's it. Very nice. There are a lot of questions, I think plus 30 questions already now in the box, so we can wrap up before it's even better. I think it's
some
our
we answered
first
already, but you know, some of the interesting ones I left for us to answer in real time.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Vit. So I will just maybe wrap up again. So let's make me presenter. Just a second. Show my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. And quickly go again. So we finished the scan module with the spherical image support. Super nice one. Automatic line detection was presented by Vit, interesting one. And now we conclude this with X-ray views enhancement. Super nice, super fancy. And we are at the point number 3, RTK videogrammetry module. So I would go just super quickly over this one, and the first point is to minor bugs are improved with the scan app. It happens that if you have the specific orientation of your phone and you start recording the video, the image which was recording was presented upside down, kind of stupid, but yes, we fixed this out. If you go to our webpage, download the latest app from the link, the APK, you can install it. This is solved. The another one is problem was if you stand on one point, didn't move it, we didn't collect more GPS, GNSS information, calculate the average position. Now we fix this. We collect the GNSS positions constantly, and this is kind of important if you are staying on one location, not move it. This is also fixed. What's coming in a month or something like that with the SideScan Android app, you will be able to measure also points, so and to measure, for example, ground control points with the same device. So if you have an external antenna attached to your smartphone, you will be able to record the video with centimeter accuracy geotagged videos. And later on, if you would like to improve it with ground control points, you can print out April tags, measure them with the same device, so you don't need additional GNSS device, and you can measure this easily out. But this is coming in a month with this one, okay? It's just to heat you up. And then the second important thing, new supported devices. So we did an intense testing with the Trimble DA2 device. In short, you will find out more on our webpage and about the webinars and everything like that. We did a StoneX test with S580 Plus. I think we did MLIT RX reach test. We conduct white papers for all the devices. Are the simple, the most affordable is still there, as you can see it. And we produce a lot of testing, a lot of materials. You will get all this knowledge on our webpage to decide which one to buy it, which is the best for your fit. So we are running further also with the RTK videogrammetry. And with this, I would wrap the technical presentation about what's new in 3Dsurvey 3.1. I think it's a super powerful version. Thank you, Mattia. Thank you, Vit, also for everything. Before we go to answer the question, we have a short poll for the audience. So, Mattia, feel free to start.
All right. So we would like to ask you a few more questions. The first one being about the hardware you use. So which hardware devices are you using in your workflow? There are multiple answers available, so if you're using all of them, just go crazy and click all the options. But the options are drone, SLAM, total station, or GNSS device, so classic surveyor stuff, smartphone RTK, or terrestrial laser scanner. So okay, I see you're quite engaged.
Votes are coming. Numbers are nice. There is no wrong answers. Feel free to enter it.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Okay, 57% of you votes. Feel free to edit.
Okay, let's wait just a few more percent.
Okay, we are at 60%, 61.
Okay, last call. 3, 2, 1, out. And 63. I would like to share these interesting results with you. So as we see, the most of you are still a classic 3Dsurvey users using a drone and a GNSS or total station. So surveyor with a drone. The SLAM is increasing, 28% of you.
Okay, that's interesting.
Although I would say that is a lot for such a new technology.
And not a very cheap one to add.
And I'm surprised to see how many of you guys are using terrestrial laser scanners at 43%.
I was also surprised by this number. Yes, okay, very nice, very good. Yeah, okay. High-tech people here on this webinar, I would say.
Yeah, that's what we expect. Let's go on. So now, obviously, the question about 3Dsurvey modules. So have you tried 3Dsurvey add-on modules yet? And if so, which one? Again, you can choose multiple answers. Well, obviously not all of them, just take scan.
Once you test it.
Yeah, but if you tested both, don't click not yet. Let's see what you are using. so far. You could see on this webinar that scan module got a lot of updates and is now even more powerful. So consider this an RTK videogrammetry. We're not sleeping on it. Also adding new devices, fixing bugs, and adding also features and other usabilities. Okay, so let's wait till the majority of you vote. Okay, final call and close. So I will share these results with you. Modules are still getting the momentum. So I see a bit more of you are on the scan module than the RTK videogrammetry, and a bit, but the majority of you are still a bit hesitant on that.
Okay, okay, interesting. So you still have a lot of opportunities in front of you. And don't forget it, everyone user, 3Dsurvey user has option to test the modules free of charge. So first time you're able to use the trial for 14 days. So if you didn't use it, you just go log into 3Dsurvey account under the licenses, and you can activate your module testing period for 14 days. You get, I think, the same time scan and RTK videogrammetry, and I think now is the right time if you have that kind of equipment.
And also, if you already have used the trial and tested it out, now that we added some additional features, if you would like to test it again, you can just send us an email and we can enable additional trial period for you.
Support at 3dsurvey.si.
For example, or any
very
one of us.
good, very good. No worries.
Okay, and before you go, we have our final question. Let me launch it. It's about today's webinar. Which newly introduced feature did you like best? Was it the automatic line detection on X-ray, spherical images support, plane lock and perpendicular lines, CAD on mesh projection, or custom height map limits?
This is the most interesting for me to see.
Here you can only choose one because,
the favorite one.
Yeah, we're looking for the winner.
Otherwise, you would choose everything, we know, but yeah.
Okay, the votes are coming in on all places, so that's very interesting. Make your vote count. If you need some time to think, well, think quick.
Automatic line detection.
I can tell you that the results are pretty tight.
Tight. Automatic line detection, plane lock car.
They are competing.
I'm for plane lock.
For the second place.
Okay. And which one will be the first?
Soon you learn which one is the first one.
Okay. Stop now. Okay, very good. I win.
Okay, these are the results. Very tight. So the winner is CAD on mesh projection. As we said, very simple.
Poland win. Okay.
But very useful. Yeah, it's because, this is a very common problem and the solution is very welcome, I think.
Okay, but also others are, like plane lock, perpendicular lines, very good. When you will start it, you're not going to work without it. You will see.
And the important thing to note, all of these features, they can work together. So you can automatically detect lines. You can draw perpendicular lines using plane lock, and then you project this on mesh, and you get them directly on your digital terrain model. So
okay, we didn't mention. So you can do the CAD on mesh projection on full 3D mesh or your digital terrain model, so regular grid mesh. So it works on both, of course.
And if contour line simplification, for example, was your favorite option, please let us know in the comments. We only have 5 options to here. Platform limitation.
Good point. Okay, not to be too long. It's 1 hour 10 minutes. We finished this one in time, I would say. Next step,
Yeah.
questions
Good
and
job,
answers.
team.
I think Vit, are you going to start with questions? Because
I think we can start together. I already answered some, but maybe some of the ones I answered will be interesting for the other ones, and we can maybe go through them together and see which questions are interesting to mention now in.
Okay, are you going to moderate it?
Yeah, and you can help if you like.
Okay, no worries. Yes, let's do that.
So we go back to the beginning. So one interesting question was, is the CAD to mesh feature, is it locked to photogrammetric data, or you can use any data? So I would like to use this one to point out, no, you can use any kind of data you want. So you can generate the 3D model, so the digital terrain model or any kind of 3D model, you can generate it also from LiDAR data, or you can also generate it from traditional measurements like 3D points and break lines, and converted those into 3D mesh on which the lines will be projected. And Nikos Milas asked, so I can draw from orthophoto in 2D and then have my lines with heights according to the digital elevation models? Yes, exactly. So then I will skip some questions that we have already answered, like, is it possible to change the colors of contour lines? At the moment, yes, if you export them into DXF and bring them back in, but in future, I think we will also add an option. I think we will be discussing this now after this update is done, but I think, yes, I think this is one of the things that is planned. Chiara asked, can we modify the range of the intensity values of laser scanners? So that is in connection to defining the range for the height map.
I think we can do it.
I think we will also.
No, but it's possible. It's the same way goes for the intensity as it is for the height map.
The height map, yeah.
Yes.
This is
talked about it, and I think it will be added in the future.
But it's possible now.
Yeah, you can just
we present this one.
Yeah, you can use it on your height map.
Yeah, so Chiara, yes, and Vit, yes, so it's supported.
And it will be in the tutorial also.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Okay, if we continue. Then Jorge Costa, he has left already, unfortunately. He asked, can we export the measures? That he says we are geologists too. So Mattia, he's one of your colleagues. Yes, the measurements can be exported. You simply click on data, save CAD as.
Very good. And you can also share them with our 3Dsurvey cloud, which is free of charge for all users who have a valid subscription or upgrades and support. So feel free to share it with cloud also.
Bastien asked, are all SLAM compatible to Bubble View? No, unfortunately not yet, all SLAMs, but it is possible to add a custom 360-degree camera. If you can get its positions in a TXT file, you will then be able to import those views into 3Dsurvey, as long as those positions are accurate. But in short, usually the SLAMs that do offer making the 360 panoramas, those you can bring into Survey. For now, the easiest way to do that is through E57 data format.
So
and if we already mentioned, StoneX support this, Faro Orbis support this, Navis support this, CHC will support in short, and this is it.
Luka Soric says we would like to see undo function in CAD and batch processing.
We as well.
Yeah, I think CID will be the first section which will be getting the undo function, because for this part it will be easier to integrate. For the rest, we need to think about it because it can be very memory consuming because we are dealing with a lot of memory, and if you delete a big part of mesh or manipulate mesh, those things will be harder.
But for batch processing, you have option for batch processing, and you also have option of screen. Sorry, not a screen. How is it called?
Scripting engine.
Script engine. Sorry,
if anyone is interested in quickly processing multiple projects over the weekend with the help how to do it, the best way, just connect with us and we will help you set it up. Because there are a few ways how to do it, but you need to set some scripts which are quite, for first-time users, they can be intimidating. So the best thing to do is we just help you set it up based on your project's requirements.
Another interesting for Chiara, I think, can we set the fine when drawing on spherical images? I think she's asking if we can define a plane during the drawing on spherical images. And
yes, good question.
I think we can do that, huh?
Yes, we can. It was something that I did not intentionally think that we were going for, but it is possible. You just have to set the transparency so you can see where you're placing points and you see the plane, and you can set it up vertically, horizontally, or anything in between. It is possible.
Okay, very good. And then another question
is asking, the directory must be the same for photos and point cloud from SLAM device.
So it's maybe I can answer this one. So it needs to be a E57 file format, and this is everything written in this format. So point cloud plus spherical images are written in a single file. So this is the beauty of this approach. You don't need to combine anything in addition. So if your device support this export, you are able to import it in 3Dsurvey. Otherwise, you will probably see just a point cloud without spherical images. But if you have additional questions, contact us directly on email and we will help you with this one, because there are a number of other SLAM devices. I know some are recording 360 videos and not spherical images. Those are not supported yet. I don't know how we'll support them in the future. But if you have something and you would like to import it, contact us. It's a fresh technology. We can check it out. Okay. Yuri Gregor. When we draw on spherical images, is the software snapped to the closest point to the image? If I have scan of the same object from all directions, it could snap to the other side of object. Yes, Yuri, that's fully true. It can happen. That's why you have this nice user interface like Shift and Mouse scroll to say where you are snapping. And also, if you like, you could use a bounding box where you limit the area of point cloud you are looking at, okay, and snapping on.
Also, one good option is just increase the point size. If you increase the point size to a few pixels, then you're less likely to snap on the point on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, or as mentioned, work with a plane. So many options.
Okay, very good. Then another point from Chiara. When will it possible to use other CAD tools like curves, 2D views, for example, join, adds, merge, intersect? Chiara, next version in October. So this we're already working on this one, all the small nice one feature improvements, and this is going to be during the October release version available. Okay. Then this is it. Then 2 questions in Chinese or Korean language. I don't know.
This is Korean.
Korean, sorry, yeah. We will use
copying it out.
Okay, feel free maybe to investigate. I can continue with Steven. iPhone support for RTK videogrammetry supported, not yet, but there is coming a lot of requests, so we'll probably need to start working with this one. So the plan was first to do the Android to get the feedback how powerful it is, and then we go also for the IIS. But nevertheless, if you invest 400 euros in Android device, you're ready to go already now and use it. But yes, we know, and thank you for this one. Then Nicole, is there any plans along with the contour lines to export and 3D faces? Export contour lines to export and 3D faces? I'm not sure I understand this one. Let's continue with Robert Turchan. Hello, first of all, I want to thank you for the new feature that are being added to 3Dsurvey. I want to ask if you're planning to any improvements for 3Dsurvey Cloud. Yes,
Good
Robert, thank you
question.
for this question. In a month, less than a month, there will be a webinar about the cloud sharing platform, and we did the major improvements which we connected. So we connected feedback from you guys, and we will add a level of detail for cloud. So the mesh will be then pretty nicely presented. Also, in case you have bad internet, in case you have not so powerful devices, you will have level of detail option. Then there are improvements with the coordinate system. Sometimes the models were shifted for some coordinates, and quite a lot of nice improvements. Also,
Yeah, better
orthophoto
orthophoto.
resolution and so on. And this is coming within 1 month. So it's in a testing period, but this is coming. Also, option to extend your space if you would like to have it. By default, you have 75 giga free space. You will be able to click there, hey, I need more space, I don't know, 250 giga, and based on monthly purchase, you can have it. So all that is coming in a short. Thank you, Robert, for this one. Bertrand,
Okay.
will you add support to RCP format or scan? It's not in plan for now.
Yeah, so RCP format is from Autodesk. I'm not sure if we can. Probably we would have to buy a very expensive royalty from them in order to do that. I'm not sure. I'm just talking from my experience. We will see if it's easily supported. We will add all open and widely used data formats in future for sure.
Okay.
So, and then an interesting question from Maximilian. Today's question has nothing to do with the webinar. Could you further explore the options for editing and improving layout options for profiles in the future for better representations, etc., even without a separate CAD program? So, yes, in team, we were talking about full 3D profiles. Now we will be making the plan for the next updates. I would also like to see improved profiles, but we will see what the whole team says about it. But
Okay.
yes, the profiles, they are in 3Dsurvey since the beginning, 10 years ago. At this point, they might be a little bit out of date. They are still usable, but if we redo them today, I think we can make them a lot more powerful. And then another question from Bertrand. Will it be possible to display georeferenced images included in E57 files scan? So Marco, do you want to answer this one?
Just repeat it, please. I was reading another one.
That means adding the non-360, the regular images as we use
what we figure out, also devices which are not which are using pinhole cameras, they produce a spherical or partial spherical images in 360, and then export it in 57. So our first idea was also to support this one. But as far we see devices which are not having spherical, they produce a then spherical. And if we can cover with this, right now it looks like so, it will be even easier for us. It works immediately, okay? So let us know which one device you're thinking on, send us an email and we can investigate.
Then Mike is asking, for larger data sets, would cloud processing ever be an option or everything is done locally? So for now, everything is done locally. But we do plan to add cloud processing sometime in the future, right?
But based on feedback and everything what we know about cloud, it's super useful for smaller data set or for videogrammetry. So if you have a big data set, buy a powerful computer. It's much cheaper than cloud processing. Okay. And you're at the end also faster. Okay, so we can just give you quick instructions if you contact us what to buy and how to process it,
or help you decide it. You know, the worst sometimes recommending hardware is ungrateful business, because then you recommend something and it turns out that this exact model is not the best one.
But okay, we will try to help you as much as possible with this also, not a problem. But I would suggest you do it locally. Okay.
Bernard is asking, does the plane lock work in a bounding box view? Yes.
Is it working? Not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I lost myself, Mick. Can you continue?
Yes. Also help with, just to get to the question. We deal with between 500 to 10,000 pictures from Mavic 3 and work out regarding how big input data is. Tip in tricks for quickest processing finish in highest resolution. So Luca is asking how to quickly process big data sets. I would say it like that. If you have big data sets that's more than 2,000 or 3,000 images, just decrease the number of detected type points per image in the
So go to 10,000 instead of 20,000, and this is already...
the bundle adjustment will be 4 times as fast.
That's true.
You can also send us an email about this and we can continue discussion there.
And start with professional setup, at least 128 gigabyte of memory or 256, okay? And good processor, 2-3 graphic cards, and that's it. 4060, 5060, don't buy 5080, 5090, too expensive and not so useful. Rather more 4060s than 14080, 4090, something like that. Very good. We can
Bertrand is asking, where are the tutorials for RTK videogrammetry with StoneX GNSS receivers? Do we have instructions for this one, right?
We have instructions on our webpage. The white paper is done. It's not published yet. Will be published in a week or two. If you would like to get it before, send us an email.
Okay.
And then Ignaz is asking, are you thinking about adding AI classification of point clouds?
Hey Nats, very nice, great to see you here. So yes, we are planning, but it's moving further and further. So let's see when we manage to do this one. It's going to be cloud-based, but yes, we can already now support you. Feel free to send us an email and we will support you one-on-one for this part. But thanks for coming and all the best to New Zealand. Mike Cole, apologize, we covered already. My question dropped for large data sets. Okay, wood cloud processing. Okay, locally, let's do it locally.
I think we covered all the questions now, right?
Yeah.
I think we covered it, and it's 1 hour 29 or 1 hour 30.
So right on time.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, let's finish this one. Everything is recorded. You will get tomorrow again. From my side, I would say thank you for coming for this exciting webinar. 2 times per year happens this. One is over, next one will be in October with another powerful version. We are working hard already on this one. So thank you for being 3Dsurvey customers. Thank you for continuing with upgrades and support. The whole team is working hard to deliver you best possible product you can find on the market. And feel free to visit us in person on any live event, Intergeo. So currently next one in London, then in Intergeo. And yes, thank you again. And bye. Vit and Mattia, feel free to add your part if you would like to.
If not sooner, see you on the next webinar next month.
Yeah, it should be very soon. So see you there.
Okay.
Thanks
you.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.